Hi team, welcome to Ambassador Basics Training. My name is Amanda Nelson, and I just wanted to put together this training for you tonight to go over some of just the real basic beginner level ambassador things that you're going to come across as you are starting your business or even as a wholesale customer. So if you are one of those, thanks for joining us. I want to just kind of go over some Facebook stuff, some back office, how to kind of navigate around that, how to utilize some of the groups on Facebook, how to post compliantly, go over the pay plan a little bit. So I got a lot of information I want to get to you in a short amount of time, so we're going to jump right in here. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen so you can see what I'm seeing here. There we go. Like I said, if we have not met, my name is Amanda Nelson, and as of today, August 2nd, I'm a senior ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. I started taking Plexus products. I started my Triplex in February of 2016. I started it for some sugar cravings, and it ended up helping me with a lot of other issues I didn't even really intend to address at that time. So it took me about less than a month before I really started seeing these, realizing that these were going to help people far beyond what I had imagined when I started. So less than a month, by March, I was signed up as an ambassador with my current upline, and I was already sharing with my friends and family. And so not only the success that I've seen myself, but the success stories I'm hearing from those that I've shared it with and those who have reached out to me to start Plexus, their stories are really driving my passion and kind of exploding that enthusiasm I have for Plexus. So that is just in a nutshell kind of what brought me to where I am. So, but let's get to the training. Let me click slides here. There we go. Like I said, I want to go over a few things. I want to go over our success kits just real briefly. I just want to point out two things in there that I really like. We're going to go over the team pages, some of the lingo and like buzzwords that you hear with Plexus, the pay plan and back office, like I said, and then the social media and compliance posting. And at the end, we'll just go over a little bit about where to go from here. You've got all this information now, kind of what your next steps would be. So first thing I want to go over are the success kits. These are an awesome source of information. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love mine. They are not required for purchase, as you know. Plexus is unique in that way, where a lot of companies will require you to buy a kit. Plexus doesn't, but these come with your welcome pack should you have ordered one. And if you have not, you do have up to 60 days to purchase them. So if you are wanting to learn more a little bit about these, definitely talk to myself or your upline, and they will get you the number for customer service and kind of walk you through what you will do with customer service to get this ordered. So super easy. It comes with like some thank you cards, a whole DVD, intro video, lots and lots of information. But I just want to show you two things in here. One is the Quick Start Guide. This is an awesome checklist that Plexus has put in place for us as ambassadors to just kind of work through and get a really good start to our business. And everything from figuring out your why, which we'll go over in a little bit, how to set up your back office, creating your list of people who you may want to contact, everything. So it's an awesome starting point. So definitely take the time to go through there, grab a pen, and work through that list. So my personal favorite out of the welcome pack are these, I call them flashcards. They're not really like a memory flashcard though, but they have just got product information. There's one for every single one of our Plexus products. They've got some talking points, even have some little quotes for what you might say to maybe bring it up in conversation, or if somebody were to ask you about it. It gives you little starting conversations to help with people. So that's all I really wanted to touch on with the success kits, is how to order them if you haven't, and just kind of those two favorites of mine. So that is it for those. Next, I'm going to show you the team pages, but first I want to kind of somewhat introduce you to our uplines. We're really blessed to be part of this team. I feel really fortunate. All these women have been an incredible resource for training and inspiration. And so we start up here is Jen Hawkins up here in the top left. And I just kind of lined them up left to right and top to bottom. So we've got, Jen Hawkins, Celeste Gwen, Rosalind Payne, Andrea Mitchell, Ellen Ford, Amber Volbada, Sarah Price, Krista Saxon, and Kristen Salvold, and myself. So, and you guys, all these women are super helpful. They're great with training and passing down their resources to us. And as far as ranks go, we've got a rock star upline. From Jen through Ellen, they are all Diamond Ambassadors and have actually re-entered the program under themselves, so they have double ranks. They range from, I think, Diamond Gold all the way up to Double Diamond, which is Celeste Gwen. So they're really successful women. They know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about in the business, and they pass all that down to us. So that's really awesome. You'll see here I highlighted or put in bold a couple names here. If you are my level 1, you have been added to these pages when you signed up. These are kind of my 3 go-to as far as pages go for on Facebook. And I'm going to walk through one of them to kind of show you what they're for. But if ever you want to, kind of extend your resources and be added to one of these other team pages, just let me know and we'll get you added. But I'm going to exit out of here, and I want to show you one of these pages. So this is Kristen's page. This is the Plexus Blessed page. And I just want to show you a couple features on here. This is really awesome. You may see that ambassadors will post contests. Here's another contest. They will post some product information every once in a while. When a new team member joins, you're welcome to do a little welcome announcement yourself on the page for your ambassador. But I just wanted to show you this search bar up here is really, really helpful when you are navigating, especially if you've got a question about, say, a product. So say I wanted to see what was on the page in regards to Edge, our new energy product, energy capsule. I can type in Edge to that search bar, and all of these posts that contain the word Edge are going to come up. And so I can see, maybe this was the challenge I was looking for. So if you search it, it'll pop right up. The next thing I want to show you is just this Files tab right here up in the headliner here. If you click on Files, these are all downloadable PDFs. You can either view them or download them and save them for yourself. But you guys, they range from like cold messaging examples. There's some pricing on there. I know on our page we have like how to measure for him and her, because a lot of people, when we say take your measurements because you'll lose inches before you lose pounds, most likely. Some people don't know how to measure, how that works. So there's diagrams for that. There's more on the compensation plan. There's just a ton of resources in here. So definitely take a little time and just kind of mosey through these because they're really going to help you get started. So I've learned a lot from them. But that's all I really want to focus on as far as the team pages go. So let's head back to here. 1 second. Sorry, guys. All right, so that brings us to the Plexus lingo. Now that you are an ambassador or a wholesale customer, you are hearing a lot more words like back office and IPAs and PV and things like that. So, and I know it could get a little confusing and a lot at once. So these are just some of the biggest ones. PV, if you haven't been explained to already, is your personal volume. And that's just how Plexus measures your sales for commission purposes. So PV is not quite a 1-to-1 ratio with the dollar. It's a little off. So, and it even varies between ambassadors and customers. So, for example, the triplex when you order as an ambassador costs you $109.95. It counts as 101 PV. Whereas a preferred customer pays $124.95 and their order to you counts as 115 PV. So it varies a little bit in there. Definitely check those Files pages because there's a whole chart of every product and what they are. But overall, it's just a measurement of how Plexus measures the sales that you do in a month to see if you qualify and to see where you fall in that commission scale. So to qualify for commissions, when you started as an ambassador, you were probably told that there are no minimums. And that is true. If you order 0 product for a month, you will not be charged. You won't be fined or pay a fee or anything. The only minimum, if you will, is in order to commission qualify, you have to sell at least 100 PV. So if you don't sell anything, that's fine. Nothing happens. You just don't get paid. You don't get charged. You just don't get a paycheck. Once you hit that 100 PV, you start accumulating commission. And we'll go over that a little bit in the pay plan. As far as commission, also with commission qualifying, your backup order needs to be turned on. If you have been a customer before joining as an ambassador, you're familiar with the backup order. It's your auto shipment. It's just the name that they've given to that order that you've got in place that's going to ship to you monthly. So back office is just the website that Plexus has that you purchased for the $34.95. And that is where you're going to see your customer orders, your ambassador stats. You're going to see your own personal orders. Your shopping cart is in there. Lots of information. A whole library of tools and information on all the products and things are all in your back office. So we're going to go over a little bit of that too. Pay portal is how Plexus pays you. All your funds are paid on the 15th into this pay portal, and then you decide where they go from there. You could set up an account. You could set up to get a card. It's all up to you, and I'll show you that too tonight. And then the last thing I want to go over is the IPAs. You'll hear that abbreviation a lot, and that's for income producing activities. And these are just daily and weekly activities that are going to help grow your business. It's going to help you in the long run. So scrolling Facebook, even though that's primarily where a lot of your business probably will be, scrolling Facebook and watching the videos and commenting on your friends' things, that's all fun, and definitely don't stop doing that because you want to keep those relationships going, but those aren't considered income-producing activities. If you're posting to Facebook or attending a training or reaching out, doing your 531, reaching out to new people, all of that are considered income-producing activities. So, all right, to the pay plan, where we will see a lot of these. And I apologize, this on my slideshow is not very large, so I'm able to zoom in when I go down here. So here it is. This is not the most updated. I will just say that right now and recognize it. I just like it because it has the numbers, so when we're going through it, it's a little easier to explain. So I'm just going to touch on a couple of them. I'm not going to hit all 11, but the first one I want to hit is the retail commission over here in the red section, number 1. Like I said, for you to commission qualify, you have to sell 100 PV, and then after 100, you start to accumulate commission. So between the $100 or the 100 PV and the 499 PV mark, you're making 15% commission on all of that. Once you hit 500, you start making 25%. And you guys, that 500 seems like a lot, but if you think, like I mentioned, an ambassador PV is 101. So if you're ordering a triplex, you're commission qualifying already. And then a preferred customer triplex is 115. So it only takes 4 more people to order the triplex with you, and you've hit that $500. So you can see that it doesn't take a whole lot to get you up there really quick. Plus, people are going to be ordering other products, our Edge, our X Factor, Mega X, the shakes. There's loads of others, but those are just some off the top of my head to kind of show you that it really does not take a lot to get there. So next is with the preferred customer bonus down here on the bottom of the red section, number 3. Like I said, this is not updated, so it doesn't have all the combos and all the products in this. But for every preferred customer that orders a product, you make a bonus on that product monthly. So, for example, the Plexus Slim here is number 2. If you have a customer that orders Plexus Slim as a preferred customer, not only are they saving money on it because they're getting that discount, but you're getting a $15 bonus on it. That is not the first month, you guys. That's every month that they order Slim as a preferred customer. You're getting $15. So, like I said, if you've got 5 preferred customers that are ordering the Plexus Slim, you're getting 15 times 5 in your bonuses, and then you're getting your commissions, that 25, 15 to 25% on that. So you can see how it starts to add up and just kind of stacks on top of one another. One of the last things I want to touch with the pay plan is the pay points, and that is how they pay you when you start adding ambassadors to your team. This red section and this commissions and everything, that's all great, and that's kind of short game payments for your business. But if you really want to be successful and really climb in the ranks, that's going to be where adding ambassadors is going to come into play. And that is really kind of long-term, or have longevity for your business. You can see this level here refers to the level of your ambassador. So for example, if I'm your direct upline, then you are my level 1. If you have an ambassador, they are my level 2. They are your level 1, if that makes sense. My upline is Kristen, so I'm her level 1, and if you're one of my ambassadors, you are her level 2, if that makes sense. So, and then you can see points earned next to it. There's a number dictated to each level of ambassadors, and these points are profit sharing. So all of the sales made in a month are divided up to be paid out in pay points. They average, I want to say, between like $2 and $3 a point. So for easy math's sake, we're going to say that this month, due to sales, Plexus is paying $2 per point. If you've got 3 level 1s, that's 3 level 1s times 5 points each. That's 15 times 2 points per, or $2 per point. That's $30 just on your level 1s. And then think if each of your level 1s have 3. Then you're getting another 15, 45, 60 points on your level 2s. So that's another $120 plus your, what did I say, 30? So you can see how it really adds up exponentially once you start building your business. And so that's where the longevity of your business and the real success is going to be in. So, and then, like I said, lots of achievement bonuses, profit sharing for once you hit Jewel. And you guys, once you hit Jewel, you get to drive a Lexus. Lexus will pay a monthly stipend for you to drive around a bright white or a shiny black Lexus, depending on what rank you achieve. So how cool is that? I'm really looking forward to that sometime in the future. So hopefully sooner than later. But so that is the pay plan that I just wanted to touch on a little bit more. All right. So that brings us to the back office. And oops. Sorry guys, if I can work my computer here. All right. So the back office, I have borrowed an account from an ambassador who just signed up, so she's not started anything, which is perfect. So we can kind of tour around the back office and not, get any information out there that shouldn't be out there. So first thing I want to show you here down in this corner is the qualifications. You'll see 2 little green bubbles and 2 blue bars. This first one, PV, is going to show you where you're at for the month as far as your PV. That includes both your PV that you've purchased, as well as any customers that you have, retail or preferred. They're all going to show up in this PV. So you can see this ambassador doesn't have anything yet. I don't think that her order auto ships until like mid to later in the month. So it's not going to show up there until it actually sends. And that will go back to 0 every month. So you may, see that it's reached 550 by the end of the month, and then the first of the month comes and it's back down to 0. So that's normal. That's how it works. This is a monthly occurring PV. The bubble below it is your backup order. If you remember me saying you have to have 100 PV and your backup order turned on in order to get a paycheck from Plexus. And so if your backup order is on, this will be green. You can click on it and see this ambassador has a backup order for 101 PV. So she's going to be commission qualified. And then once you start getting into your building your business and getting ambassadors, that's where the points comes in. We talked about those points on the pay system, those pay points. Those are going to be adding up right here. It'll show you, depending on how many ambassadors you have, how many points you have. And if you click up here, you can see your rank will be here. This will also change at the beginning of the month. It'll drop you down to associate before any of your sales come through, and then it'll build up. So don't freak out if you get to gold and all of a sudden it's the beginning of the month and you're back down to associate. So don't worry. But what's cool about this feature is you can drop this down and you can click on any rank and see what it would take to become that rank of ambassador. So here you don't have to have any points outside of primary leg. So you can just have 3 ambassadors. They don't have to have anyone under them yet for you to qualify. You just have to have 3 active enrollments. And so that's 3 ambassadors that you personally have signed up. Whereas you can see if you wanted to make it to gold, the next step, that's 100 points in your team. So you still can have your 3 ambassadors and then 100 points. So remember, those level 2s are worth 5 points each. So if you think, if your 3 ambassadors each sign 3 ambassadors, that's building up your points really quickly. So that seems as much more intimidating than it is. So that is all I'm going to show you here on the dashboard. The next couple things are going to be in reports. If you go to this reports tab up here, it's going to have a drop-down menu, and you're going to go into customer report. Like I said, this is a new ambassador, so she doesn't have much for me to show you. But here's where you're going to see all of your customers, retail and preferred. It's going to show their ID, their name, their volume, their PV amount of their order, and then email address, some contact information. It's going to tell you member status is retail or preferred, the enrollment date they started, the next run date of their order. So if someone's like, I don't remember what day my order is going to come out this month, can you let me know? They can always sign in and see that, but if you're already in the site, or you can access it easier if they can't get to it right away, it will tell you that their next run date is going to be the 13th of the month. So you can let them know. And then when they're done, or if they choose to end their shipment, you're going to see a cancel date in here. So that is the customer report. The next one, also in the reports, is the detailed genealogy I want to show you. And it's the exact same concept. There's a little bit more information on it, but this is the same thing, but for your ambassadors. So you can see there's a lot more information here. It's got all their contact information. So if you are sending them things, their auto ship status, you'll be able to see if their backup order's turned on. So if you can remind them end of the month saying, hey, I noticed your backup order isn't turned on, but you're over 100 PV. If you want to get that paycheck, make sure you turn that on. So just kind of different things to kind of just check up on them, see, if you can be of any help to them. Otherwise, just to kind of check in on your team. So same concept there. The next thing I want to show you is this tools tab. Tools, we've got some really awesome things in the library here. And I've really just started to kind of dig into the library. So I encourage you to do that too. And I may do some later trainings on some of the things in here. But the one thing I wanted to show you is this knowledge base, which is actually new for me. I learned it not too long ago. In this knowledge base, it's kind of like the Plexus generated frequently asked questions. So they've got some general and tech support stuff here, but otherwise they have every product that Plexus has, and there are questions that you can look up the answer to. So if someone asks you when they're looking at Accelerator, what is 5-HTP? Well, you can click on it and it's going to give you the answer. You could see how much caffeine is in Plexus Boost. Why is there yeast in ProBio 5? All these questions that somebody might ask you, or that you may be curious about yourself, they're all in here. So definitely go and take a peek at this. This has been really helpful. So that is all I've got for the library. And then next, I just wanted to show you real quick your shopping cart. You're familiar with that. If you just click on your shopping cart, it'll bring up everything that you order. The backup orders, I want to show you how to check to make sure that yours is turned on. When you go to that shopping and drop down to backup orders, it's going to have all your backup orders. If you have more than one, it will list them here. You can see this ambassador has her order scheduled for the 26th day of the month. It's got an amount of 101 PV. It's got her total price, and then conditional. So there's a difference between conditional and unconditional backup orders. If you are a wholesale customer or you do not have any customers yet, it is okay, most likely, for your order to be conditional. What conditional means is if you have not reached 100 PV by this day, whatever day you schedule, so the 26th, we're going to say just for this because of her order, if you have not reached 100 PV by the 26th, it's going to send your order out. And so it's based on the condition that you haven't sold enough to commission qualify. There's the other option of unconditional, and that is no matter what, doesn't matter if you sell 0 PV or if you sell 5,000 PV, it's going to send it out unconditionally. It's going to send it out no matter what. So definitely once you start getting your customers and things like that, and you're wanting that monthly order, make sure that this says unconditional. And you can do that by just deleting this order and adding a new backup order. And it will ask you, I think it'll be the first thing to pop up here. Yep. So conditional and unconditional. And it's got little reminders on what those are. So that is the last thing in the back office other than how to get to PayPortal. If you go over to Account Services, you can go into this Plexus PayPortal here, and I've already got it open. One second here. It timed out. Let it run here. Perfect. So when you go in, you will initially have to set up your address, your name again, your information. Some of the stuff will carry over, but you have to set up your account. And then once it's all set up, this is what Plexus will send the money to. So when you make your first commissions, you're going to see that your funds are over here on the left-hand side of the screen. You can then choose to transfer them to a bank account. You can request a card, or you can do some incentive payments, which I'm not going to get too much into those, maybe at a later training date. But so this is super quick, really brief. I just wanted to show you what it looks like. So this on the 15th of every month, and then every time you add an ambassador, those business building bonuses come on Fridays following the week that you add that ambassador. So you have the potential to be paid 5 times a month. And then, yeah, it all goes in here. So it's pretty cut and dry. So I'm going to go back to the slideshow and go back over the rest of the stuff then. All right, so it brings us to social media. Facebook is definitely the biggest one that we are on, or most people are on. Some people are doing Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, running blogs. But just remember to carry these tips and compliance issues through to all social media platforms that you're on. Anytime you're sharing anything publicly, you're going to want to keep these tips in mind. So first is with sharing posts. Don't share them in the traditional Facebook sense where you hit the share button at the bottom of a post and it shows, you know, Amanda Nelson shared so-and-so's post, and it shows their name and their post and their picture underneath it. We want to get into the habit of copying the text from that post and then saving the picture and actually recreate the post. Enter the information or enter the text into your status box and then add the picture. You'll say, like, well, it's not my post. Why would we do that? So there's kind of an unwritten rule with generic type posts where they are like a graphic about some of the ingredients in Plexus Slim, or, a little picture of ProBio 5 and Mega X together and it says Dream Team Best Sleep Ever. Those really generic posts, there's an unwritten rule that you're welcome to share them from anybody. You can definitely look online, definitely make sure they're compliant. We'll go over that next, but you can look online for images. You can take some inspirational quotes. You can use some apps and make your own with like Typorama, or I think like Photify is one, things like that. But just know that when you make those, other people are welcome to share those from you. So the only thing I like to have people be aware of is if it's something personal, like you can see, I put an example of a personal post over here. If this is something, you can see I took these little kids, and I like to say, like, for this fact, because she's not my child, that I blurred it out in the background. I just made sure that my camera didn't focus on that. So it was kind of a cool shot. But definitely if you're going to be putting people in, ask about it. But for this post, I was watching a daughter of a friend, and we went to the park, and we went to a movie and to lunch and then to the splash pad. So I just put a little thing on how the pink drink and my edge were keeping me, or keeping me on her toes, chasing her around and not getting wore out or being bogged down from being tired or anything like that. So it's obviously a personal post. It's not a generic one. If you were to post this now, people are going to be like, well, who's that kid? Well, who did you take to the splash pad? It's somebody else. You're still welcome to share this, but in that same sense, you're going to want to copy this text and this picture, post it onto your own new post or new status, and just say, my friend Amanda said, or look at all the great things Plexus is helping Amanda with. And then in quotations, my text there. So just definitely give credit where credit is due. When in doubt, I credit the person I share it from. It's quite possible that they saw this research post and they shared it from somebody else, but I don't know that. So if I don't have the time to ask them, I'm either asking them or I'm just saying, look at what my friend Sarah found out about these awesome ingredients. So definitely when in doubt, give credit or ask them if it was a generic, a research post or something personal. Prime times for your audience are going to be based on the product you are sharing, the people you're trying to reach at that point. For example, some of our products like block absorption of sugars and starches. That would be an awesome one to share about around mealtime when people are eating and they're like, I'm shoveling all this pizza in my mouth. Maybe I could use that block and it won't be so bad for me. It's not how it works, but you kind of get the train of thought there. You might, post about the pink drink that you're taking each morning, or wake up and say you've got awesome sleep and show that ProBio and Mega X Dream Team. Like, I slept well. How did you? I slept well thanks to these two, something to that effect. And then obviously, if you're like me, you're probably still working another job. You've got busy lives outside of work, outside of Plexus. So there are two apps or websites, I guess, that I have found really helpful. One is called Buffer, and the other is Postrun. And these are just applications that you can go into them. You can type out your post, your status, and import a picture, and you can set it to what time you want it to post during the day. So for example, if I wanted to do one of those lunchtime posts, my work schedule is crazy, and I'm not on a break at the traditional lunchtime or lunch hour. My half-hour break, my halfway through the day is at 9 in the morning. So, but, posting about blocking the lunch hour at 9 a.m. isn't going to necessarily attract people to it. But I can go into my buffer and I can make a lunchtime-based post and have it post at 12:30 or 11:30 or whenever I want to do that. Same with Postcron. Buffer, you can do a website and an app in both Android and iPhone. Postcron is website only. I actually do believe that there is an app in the Android, but it does not for iPhone. So, but those are both really cool. So check those out. And if you want to know any more, let me know. And then keep your post personal. The graphics are great every once in a while to kind of get some information up there and just kind of change the content, but definitely make them personal. We don't want to be selling Plexus. We don't want to be the salespeople at the door, shoving something down someone's throat. Remember why you're doing this in the first place. You felt awesome. You're getting better sleep. You're getting more energy throughout the day. Your cravings are gone. Share that. That's why you're sharing it. So remember why you're sharing it, how awesome it's making you feel, and just relay that in your posts. Again, this example on the page, it's just, I'm not saying, hey, pick up this edge for extra energy. I'm saying, look at what it's doing for me. So just make sure to keep them personal. And don't forget to post about your life. They say that you should post 3 times a day for best results. And that's due to the Facebook algorithms and everything. If you post once a week or once every other day, guys, the chances of people on your friends list seeing that and that showing up in their news feed are very, very low if you don't post regularly. So 3 times is definitely the best per day. Once a day, they may see them. They're not going to see a majority of them, but they still may see a few. So definitely, work up to that 3 times a day. You think, well, I'd really annoy people, but I can promise you when you're posting cat videos or dog videos or recipes, somebody out there is being annoyed by these things. Somebody is being annoyed by game requests that are being sent to them. So just put it out there because you don't know who's watching. You don't know who's interested, and just silently kind of reading all your posts and researching in their own time before they say anything to you. So definitely keep posting. Don't worry about annoying people or the fact that nobody's commenting on it or something like that, because I promise you guys, people come out of the woodwork where you don't think, that they would ever consider this. And they're like, hey, so I've been watching this Plexus thing you're doing. Tell me more about it. And I'm like, what? Sure, yeah. So definitely keep posting. Don't be intimidated by it. But in the same sense, don't forget to be posting about your life, because you don't want your profile to only become Plexus. So keep posting about your kids. Keep posting the funny cat videos and dog videos and things like that. And then we just want to make sure that our posts are staying compliant, which brings us to the next slide. Compliance is huge right now, you guys. Why is that? Is because the FDA watches to make sure that we as ambassadors are not misrepresenting Plexus and what Plexus has been proven to do for people. So, as you know, Plexus products are not FDA approved. They do, however, follow all the FDA guidelines. As far as them not being approved, you guys, supplements are just something that the FDA doesn't approve. They don't approve or disapprove of any supplements. It's just kind of their guidelines, I guess. But Plexus does follow along with all of their guidelines, so that if they were handing out, approval papers, that we would probably get one. So we definitely don't want to lose that, though. We don't want to be shut down for making claims that Plexus can't stand behind. You know that Plexus doesn't claim to treat, cure, diagnose any illnesses. It can't guarantee any certain number of weight lost. And for those reasons, we have to make sure that our posting is reflective of that. So a couple things to avoid. We cannot name diagnosis and Plexus in the same post. And you're going to see this and Plexus reoccurring with a lot of this. When you are talking just about a diagnosis and you don't mention any Plexus products by name, that is perfectly fine. So you can post an article about Candida, or you can say that, you had really bad IBS and now you take a probiotic and, your world has changed. That's fine, because you're not putting that diagnosis with a Plexus product. Someone can ask you about, well, what probiotic are you taking? And you can message them that it's ProBio. So that's fine. But when you're posting publicly, just make sure that it's either or. Ways around that. So you can't do the diagnosis and Plexus in the same post, but you can describe diagnoses. So Candida. You can't say Candida, but you can say yeast or bad bacteria, or talk about gut health. Acne, you could say zits, pimples, IBS, digestive issues, discomfort, bloating, things like that. Migraine, sensitivity to light, light and sound, just really intense headaches that can last all day long. People who have migraines are going to know that you're talking about migraines. So they'll make that connection in their head. The cool thing about this, which, it may seem tricky to be able to kind of maneuver around these rules, but the cool thing about this is somebody may have IBS and not know that it's IBS yet. So you may say, are you constantly bloated and discomfort and you've got digestive issues? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I do have that. Maybe this can help me. But if you say IBS and they haven't been to their doctor for this issue, they're just living with it, they're not going to, well, I don't have IBS. Well, I'm constipated, but I don't have IBS. Things like, so when you're explaining diagnosis, it's actually really cool, kind of a bright side to it, that people who don't even know that they may have a condition are going to be able to relate more with symptoms than they are with diagnosis. So the same thing goes for weight. You cannot post about pounds lost or sizes lost and Plexus in the same post. You're free to do, hey, I lost 20 pounds with just one drink, drinking this one drink a day, or, I take this one drink and I've lost 4 pant sizes, something to that effect. You can say, since I started drinking this pink drink from Plexus, I've had to go buy new clothes because none of my clothes fit anymore. That's fine, because you're not being specific about your weight loss. You're not giving a number, so that's fine. We cannot compare other name brand medications with Plexus. So you cannot, clean out your medicine cabinet or your, vitamins and everything and say, hey, I used to take these and now I take these Plexus products. You can't say, like Miralax. You can't put a bottle of Miralax on your counter and say, I used to have to take so much of this every day. Now I take BioCleanse and ProBio 5 to stay regular. You can't put them up next to each other because Plexus hasn't run any tests to show that these are the same as this. So you can say, here's the Miralax, and throw it in the trash because I don't use it anymore. Ask me what I use instead. And you can message people all that. Just remember, it's all publicly when you're making posts, when you're doing pins on Pinterest, things like that. Even when you're discussing in the comments, you can't say, if you're posting, that you had to take a sleep medication to get to sleep at night, and now you don't have to because you're taking all natural products made from plants, and, ask me what it is. And someone's in the comments and they say, well, what are you taking? You can't say it then. You can't say it in the comments if you've already put the prescription. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank, you guys. You already put the prescription in there. You can't leave it in the posts at all. So just say, hey, I'll message you, and share all that message, all that information in that message privately. So again, kind of with the articles, you can post about specific articles. You'll see in the next slide, I've got a couple examples. I posted an article about how researchers are tying gut health to rheumatoid arthritis, and that being the reason. But I didn't mention anything about plexus. And people who are watching your page and, are seeing your plexus posts regularly, they're going to make that connection like, oh, see, gut health is the cause for rheumatoid arthritis. If you've got bad gut health, that could happen. But maybe if you got your gut healthy, I bet that's where she's going with that. They'll make that connection in their heads. So yeah, sorry, I got a little redundant here, but as long as you don't include both, I think I've beat that over the head a little bit. No advertising for kids, with the exception of the family chewables for the X Factor. None of our products have been tested or approved for advertising for children other than those chewable gummies. So I know some people give the probiotic, they break it up and give it to their kids. You can't post about that. If someone, you're giving your kid the pink drink, you can't post about it. The only thing you can post about kids doing or taking or benefiting from Plexus is the X Factor gummies, the family chewables. And then just be careful, not all posts out there are compliant. Some of these rules are brand new, you guys. As we've grown, they've had to implement more rules. So a lot of, especially the older posts, if you go back through, might not be compliant. And we should be working to take those down. But the truth of the matter is that they're out there. Not everybody's going to be working to take them down. So if you see one and you think, I don't know that would be compliant. I think that broke a couple of the rules that was in that training. Ask your upline. When in doubt, just ask someone. Because we don't want you to get in trouble for something that you didn't even put together yourself, So just when in doubt, ask. And then as far as any of this goes, anything can be shared privately. Of course, within the guidelines. You can't promise somebody that they're going to lose 40 pounds in a month because that's not what Plexus is about. That's not, you can't guarantee them that. But you can say, I had IBS and ProBio and BioCleanse helped me. I had migraines, and since I've been taking the magnesium in BioCleanse, it's helped me. I've lost 40 pounds in a few months taking the Plexus Slim and Accelerator. You can say whatever you want privately in a message, in a text, in a video chat like this. At a sip and see where you've invited people to come to, you just can't say it publicly out there for everyone to read. So samples, you guys can't create our own samples. We had an issue where when the Edge came out, there was actually a post going around where someone had taken the bottle of Edge and was putting pills in like Ziploc baggies and sending them out. We cannot do that. That doesn't have any of the product information on it. It doesn't have any of the ingredient or a little nutrition label along with it, so you can't be sending those out. The only samples we can send are like the Slim samples, the body creams, and the Ease creams. They make little sample packs of a few of them. Otherwise, that's what the 60-day guarantee is for. It's definitely never any hard feelings if someone gets it and they're like, it's really not for me. It's not for me. I'm just going to do the 60-day guarantee. Help them out with it. There's no hard feelings. That's what it's for. So definitely just be aware when you're giving samples that you are making sure that everything is staying in the packaging that Plexus provides. We can't post about pricing other than $34.95. So you cannot post that. I'm trying to think of one of the costs off the top of my head. You can't post that Slim for preferred customer is, what is it, $79.95, I believe. You can't post that publicly. You can't post that in the comments. You can message someone. You can say how they comment, and they're like, well, how much is this? You can say, I'll message you some information, and you can send it in a message or in a text or however you want to communicate it, just not publicly. The only exception to that, again, is the ambassador fee, the $34.95, or if corporate is running a sale. I know around St. Patrick's Day this year, I think they did like $17 Mega X. So when they're promoting a sale like that, you can publicly share that Mega X is on sale for $17. So that's really the only exception. Otherwise, all of that has to be done privately. As far as personal sales, guys, this just changed. We're still getting emails about it. The personal sales, there's definitely no public posting about it. You can't say that I personally am doing 10% off your order. You can't post anything like that. And that is newly released by the compliance department because they want to keep everything kind of a level playing field. They don't want, Jane has been working with Sally, and they've been talking about the Slim, and she's going to order through Sally. And then Jessica over here, another friend, posts on her page that she's doing a 10% off during this month. And so now Jane goes and orders from Jessica because she's selling it cheaper than Sally is. So they want to avoid that because obviously Sally invested all that time in giving her information and maybe spent money sending her samples, things like that. So they want to keep that level for people who can do those incentives versus people who maybe can't at that point in their business. So it's a really gray area. I don't know. I know some people still do in private messages, but that's changed really recently. So that's even kind of changing things that I've done in the past. So, but for right now, definitely don't post it publicly is all I can really say about it. It's a really, really gray area. So these are just a couple of the examples that I went over. Here's that article I talked about. Here, the hand. Could balancing your gut bacteria be the key to unlocking RA? I just said gut health is not crazy talk. Over here was an example of this sharing. Over here on the left, I switched sides on you now. Chris McCall is a well-known ambassador, and he's just funny. So every once in a while, if it's something like this, where I really just wanted people to see that it was this guy and I wanted to see his post the way he made it, I just went ahead and shared this. This is still okay for like videos because obviously you can't copy and paste those. But otherwise, this is kind of something we generally want to stay away from. We don't want to do every post like this. We want to do posts from other people more like this, where Karen here had posted this picture, and these are her words here on this bottom paragraph. I copy and pasted them into my own post, and I just said, check out what my friend Karen said, see why she's so excited. And I put her post in quotation marks so that I'm giving all the credit to Karen here. That's not my garden. I don't love the greens, or I'm not a crunchy mama, things like that. So this is how you want to be sharing other people's posts. This is an example of a non-compliant post that even I had done. Like I said, we're all learning. We all do it. They've changed some rules too. So this one, ever taken an antibiotic, ever craved sugar and carbs, then you need to know about Candida or leaky gut syndrome. Why? See the list of things linked to Candida overgrowth. Stop staying sick. If I had stopped there, this would be perfectly fine to post this picture and those words. But you can see I went on to mention products like ProBio 5, BioCleanse, and Block, and what they're doing later on in the post, how they can help it. That there is where it flipped it around and made it uncompliant, because I listed those diagnoses up here, Candida and leaky gut syndrome, and I posted Plexus products in it as well. This is going to be more something that if you're going to list either or, you can see up here, and it's cut off a little bit probably by my video here, but you can see listing in it. It says depression, arthritis, skin issues, IBS, And then I just said, imagine if there was a line of products that targeted blood sugar levels, inflammation, and gut health. Sounds familiar. I can't put my finger on it. Like I said, people are going to know if they've been around and seen your posts. They're going to know that you're talking about Plexus, and they're going to make that connection in their head. So That is all I've got for compliance. I know it gets pretty lengthy and tricky, so if you've ever got any questions, just reach out to your upline, reach out to me, reach out to Kristen. We're helpful, willing to help at any time. So now that you have all this info, what are you going to do with it? How do you move forward with your business? This is going to be, if you have not done so, where you're going to want to establish your why. Why are you sharing Plexus? Why did you decide to do the business? What's your motivation? What's going to keep you driven to keep posting, to keep reaching out to people and keep growing your business? What is that motivator for you? This will change. This will vary from person to person. For example, I am single, no kids, so my why is not going to be, to stay home, to be able to work from home, to stay home with my kids. It might be to work from home, but, it's not going to benefit my family as in a husband and children, so everyone's is going to be different. Mine will change, when I am married and have kids. Obviously that probably be primarily why I want to continue to do it, is to provide and contribute to the family. But so it'll change over time. It's going to vary from person to person, but definitely find out what that is for you, really narrow it down, and post about it. Make a post, tag your upline, tag me. We'll make sure you get lots of love on it. I know it's really nerve-wracking to make a post for the first time, but it doesn't have to be so intimidating. I know for me, I typed it all up. I kind of sat there a minute. I'm like, well, what are people going to think? And then I thought, who cares what people think? If I want other people to feel as awesome as I'm feeling on these, so I just want to share it. I feel selfish if I don't share it. So I just went ahead and clicked, closed my eyes and punched the button, and it was out there, and it's blossomed from there. So never worry about people not responding. Like I said, tag your upline, and we'll make sure lots of people are coming over and showing support, to commenting and liking the post and getting a lot of attention. Next, you want to be a product of the product. Obviously, it's a lot harder to share with people if you're not taking the product. If you are claiming that you're sleeping better, but you're not because you're not taking the Mega X, then it's kind of, what are you sharing it for kind of thing. So people are less likely to believe you if, you don't really have any personal experience with the products you're talking about. So that's not to say that you have to take every product. I myself, for example, I've not taken the Plexus Nerve, the Accelerator, the Boost, because those things just aren't for me. But I've tried the Ease, I've tried the shakes, and just do it as you can. You don't have to order the whole load, or just whatever pertains to you. Just remember to keep personal with the products, and kind of when you're trying it, just show in your posting how they're affecting you, and then share your friends. Like I said, I'm not using Accelerator or Boost. I didn't join Plexus to lose weight. That wasn't my journey. But that doesn't mean that I can't share that I've lost a little weight, even with just Slim. Doesn't mean that I can't share my friends who have lost weight using those products and say, look what has happened for my friend. Maybe that's not my journey. Maybe that's not what I'm taking, but look at how this is working. So just continue to share, and being a product of the product is going to help you keep that personal touch in all your postings. So 5-3-1s or 3-2-1s. This is one of the IPAs that I was talking about earlier. It's going to kind of depend on, 1, how big your network is, and 2, how many people you've reached out to. So obviously 5-3-1 is going to be a lot easier in the beginning than maybe once you start getting to the end of your friends list and you have to start thinking a little more creatively of new people. And what it is, that first number, I'm just going to work with the 5-3-1. You're going to reach out to 5 new people every day. Or maybe you're going to set out to do your 5-3-1 5 times a week. But you're going to do 5 new people that you're reaching out to for Plexus. Then you're going to follow up with 3 people. And then you're going to train 1 person. That can be training a downline. an ambassador, that can be training yourself if you don't have anybody below you. You just train yourself. Watch a Diamond documentary. Check out that knowledge base on the back office. Check out the files pages on some of the team pages. Just train yourself and familiarize yourself with the business. So next, when you're getting new customers, you guys, customers and ambassadors, you're going to want to make sure that as a customer, they're getting any starting information that they need. You're going to want to make sure that they're knowing how to take the product, when to take the product. Everything's on the label, you guys, but it's still just personal. If they wanted no contact, they could go to GNC and get lesser quality products, and no coach, if you will. So definitely just follow up with them, make sure they're getting their info, especially the triplex. That's the most popular thing. If you have been on the triplex, then you're familiar that there's a whole chart to kind of ease your body into this triplex system so that you don't send your body into major detox and have those symptoms like headaches and upset stomach, things like that. So just whatever the information is that pertains to the product that I've ordered, just make sure that they're getting those. Check in after a few days after you've heard that they've ordered or you've seen they'd ordered. Make sure that they got their product. Just say, hey, I saw you ordered a couple days ago. You should probably have your product now. Just wondering if you've got any questions before you start. Check up a week later. Say, hey, you've been doing it for a few days. What are your kind of initial thoughts? Do you have any questions at this point? When they're newer, you're going to check in more. As they become, a more substantial, month-to-month client, they're going to know how to take the products and things, so you can follow up a little less. But definitely don't let them fall off the face of the planet. Check on them every once in a while and see if, again, they've got any questions, or maybe they want to try this new ease that came out. So keep following up. And then it's really awesome when you guys can send thank yous. I know personally that's something I am trying to get in the habit of as far as for my customers. I'm really good with my ambassadors about it, but send thank yous because they're supporting your business. They're doing it for their health, but they also could have, tried another company. Do I think our products compare? No. But the fact of the matter is that they trusted you, to order from you. So thank them for that and recognize that. You can send a thank you card. I'm really good at a Facebook message following up and really thanking them, but everyone loves mail, so I try to get some thank you cards out as well. And then set goals for yourself. Share them with your upline and make a plan to achieve them. Maybe you want to go to the rank of silver in the first month, which is adding 3 ambassadors. Maybe you want to sell a certain amount of PV. Maybe you want to post. Get used to posting this many times a day or this many times a week. Maybe you want to set out to do your 5-3-1 or your 3-2-1 4 days a week to start, and 6 days a week after. Make those goals for yourself. Write them out. Tell somebody about them. Share them with your upline, whether it's on a call, whether it's messaging them, because when you put those goals out there, you're far more likely to achieve them. So put them up there. I know by my little desk area, I've got a cork board with little clothespins, and I just hang my goals up. So I'm constantly looking at them every day and reminding myself what I want to strive for this month. And then just make a plan to do that. How are you going to do it? If your goal is to do silver, is your goal to reach out to maybe do more than your 5-3-1? Maybe you're going to reach out to 10 people a day. Maybe you're going to you're going to reach out to so many people that you're going to get 20 no's. And then maybe out of those, maybe that takes 50 people that you reached out to. 27 of them didn't even respond back. 20 of them said no, and 3 of them said yes. So definitely just set goals for yourself, because it's all in the numbers. And you guys remember, I just want to leave on this one note that you are not in business for yourself, or you are in business for yourself. You're not in business by yourself. Plexus has this motto, one Plexus, and I think that the team that we are on is really the, the perfect example of one Plexus. We are helpful to each other. We do trainings together, whether we're sidelines or on the same team or not. It's all about just helping others, empowering one another, and helping just everyone get healthy, whether it's from you or from a sideline. So never be afraid to ask questions. Never be, afraid that your question is dumb, because I promise it's not. It's probably asked a lot. So definitely use the resources. If you've got questions, feel free to, shout them out on the team pages. Lots of people are willing to help you. Be friends, send friend requests to ambassadors that you see on the page. I know firsthand that, sometimes if you've got a naysayer on a comment, some of these girls that have all this information will come and post on your behalf on your comment and help educate, maybe this naysayer. So we're all really, really helpful. I'm really proud to be part of the team that we're on. I hope you are too, and I think that you will be once you're kind of in it all and experiencing it. So that, you guys, is all that I have for you. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing now. And if you've got any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, thanks for stopping by tonight. I hope you guys learned something and can kind of take away and really start rocking your business. So have a good one. Bye.